photograph of several individuals in full hazmat suits, captured in Panama, has gone viral online and stirred intense debate across social media. The image has drawn extraordinary attention because it was reportedly taken in the same country where Kin first claimed to have discovered a meteorite that contained a strange alien entity. Since Kin began uploading videos of the black goo-like substance growing and moving inside a secure safe, the story has fascinated hundreds of thousands of people. Now, with this new image, speculation has reached new levels, as many argue that the presence of hazmat teams in Panama is no coincidence. The photograph shows multiple figures standing at the entrance of a building, each clad in yellow protective suits with hoods and breathing gear. To many who have followed the Panama meteorite story, this scene represents the next stage of events: officials or outside forces moving to secure the entity and remove it from public view. The thought that protective teams are now on the ground in the same region where the discovery was made has only fueled theories that Kin's mysterious find is far more significant than many originally assumed. What makes the situation even more puzzling is the fact that this is not the first time hazmat suits have been seen in Panama in recent weeks. Only about 1 week earlier, another photograph surfaced showing a different group of similarly dressed individuals operating in another part of the country. At the time, some believed it was routine, perhaps linked to environmental cleanup or medical safety. But with this new image now circulating so close in time and context to Kin's discovery, many are asking whether these sightings are connected, suggesting coordinated efforts to either contain the meteorite or track down the alien organism. Among those commenting on the situation, there are broadly 3 competing schools of thought. The first group believes the hazmat suits are clear evidence that authorities or international agencies are attempting to confiscate the meteorite and its contents. They argue that officials are moving in under the guise of public safety to ensure the black entity is no longer in civilian hands. According to this theory, the strange suits and secretive operations are part of a larger cover-up to prevent the public from knowing that extraterrestrial life has been found on Earth. Another perspective focuses less on the alien narrative and more on advanced technology. Many believe that the black goo discovered by Kin is not a biological organism at all, but a form of engineered material, perhaps created by civilizations far beyond human understanding. To those in this camp, the hazmat suits symbolize containment not of a creature, but of technology that could be powerful, dangerous, or revolutionary. If the goo can grow, move, and reshape itself, it may represent a form of matter or nanotechnology beyond anything currently known. That possibility alone would be reason enough for secrecy, as governments or corporations would want to study and control such a discovery. The third and perhaps most skeptical group views the entire event as a potential staged cover-up. In this view, hazmat teams are indeed real, but their purpose is not containment or safety, it is removal. This group insists that eventually, the meteorite and its contents will vanish entirely, taken away by those in power, with no trace left for the public. They argue that the viral photos and Kin's updates serve as a fleeting glimpse into something monumental, but that this glimpse will not last. To them, history has repeatedly shown how unusual phenomena have been erased from public record once officials intervene. Alongside these theories, rumors about who specifically wants the substance and why have begun to circulate. Some believe it is national security agencies who see the goo as a possible hazard that must be contained. Others speculate about scientific organizations seeking to secure exclusive research rights. A smaller but growing number whisper about secretive groups operating outside of government, who may see the alien material as a tool for power or advancement. The sheer mystery surrounding the photographs and the fact that no official explanations have been offered only intensifies these debates. For Kin's followers, the viral hazmat images have sparked fresh urgency. They see the protective suits as confirmation that the entity he discovered is not only real, but also of tremendous importance. Each new update from Kin is now watched with even more anticipation, as his audience wonders whether his videos will be allowed to continue, or whether officials will intervene to silence the story. His decision to lock the black substance inside a safe already showed that he understood the potential danger or value of what he had found. Now, with evidence that others may be seeking it, many believe it is only a matter of time before direct action is taken. The debate is no longer confined to whether the alien entity is real. Instead, the focus has shifted to the consequences of its existence. If the black goo is alive, then humanity may be witnessing the first open documentation of extraterrestrial life. If it is technological, it may represent an artifact of advanced intelligence, a discovery that could change science forever. If it is seized and hidden, then history may record this as another case where something extraordinary slipped through the cracks of public awareness. What is undeniable is the global reaction. The photograph of hazmat suits in Panama has already spread to every corner of the internet, discussed in forums, news pages, and video platforms. The sight of anonymous figures in protective gear, combined with the backdrop of an unfolding alien mystery, has captured imaginations everywhere. It evokes fear, wonder, and suspicion all at once, leaving people divided on what the truth may be, but united in fascination. As of now, the hazmat suits remain unexplained. The 1947 Roswell incident remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the UFO phenomenon. Central to the intrigue surrounding the incident are reports of debris recovered from a crash site near Roswell, New Mexico, which some believe came from an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Over the years, rumors and alleged eyewitness accounts have described strange metal fragments with unusual properties supposedly collected at the site. Recently, new attention has focused on one particular piece of metal reportedly connected to the Roswell incident, which was allegedly sent to a government lab for scientific testing. This fragment, rumored to be part of the material recovered in 1947, has reignited debates over whether the government might possess physical evidence of an extraterrestrial encounter and what properties such a metal might reveal if it were genuinely otherworldly. This unusual specimen descended to Earth in 1947, allegedly associated with a UFO crash related to the notorious Roswell incident, which led the public to believe a flying saucer had landed. The debris discovered in Roswell was, in fact, remnants of a US Air Force balloon intended for surveillance of Soviet nuclear activities. The authentic origins of the metallic specimen have been contested for decades. Ultimately, Tom DeLonge acquired it through his organization to the Stars Academy. The organization conducts independent research on potential alien occurrences, and the sample exhibited an apparently unusual material structure that may suggest an extraterrestrial techno-signature. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, responsible for investigating unidentified anomalous phenomena for the US government, subsequently assumed the investigation to ascertain the object's physical and chemical properties that might enable inertial mass reduction, levitation. The subject under consideration is a magnesium alloy, primarily composed of magnesium and zinc. It additionally comprises bismuth, lead, and several trace elements. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office requested Oak Ridge National Laboratory to perform an analysis in 2022, as scientists were particularly keen to determine if the sample was of terrestrial origin and whether its bismuth content suggested potential use by extraterrestrials as a terahertz waveguide, a metallic object that channels electromagnetic waves emitted by an energy source. Oak Ridge Laboratory was first founded during World War II to explore atomic weaponry, and the majority of its scientific inquiries remain focused on energy-related topics. Nonetheless, the laboratory has also investigated items believed to be extraterrestrial. This metal shard specimen reportedly demonstrates exceptional properties. Scientists at Oak Ridge Laboratory investigated the sample for potential biosignatures, which are naturally occurring substances linked to life, and technosignatures, indicative of extraterrestrial technology, particularly in the quest for intelligent life. Certain UFOs may possess both attributes. In their search for extraterrestrial biosignatures, Oak Ridge Laboratory scientists aimed to determine whether the isotopes of the metals in this alloy originated from Earth. Determining the provenance of the metals required an examination of their isotopic fingerprints. These denote the ratios of various isotopes of elements in a material, where distinct copies of the same element possess differing atomic masses. Analysis revealed that the isotope fingerprints of magnesium and lead suggested a terrestrial origin. The isotopic signature of magnesium experienced fractionation, likely resulting from thermal stress and physical or chemical manufacturing methods. Nonetheless, it remained within the typical range for magnesium found on Earth, rather than indicating an extraterrestrial biosignature. The magnesium in this sample exhibited a percentage of isotopes that is exclusively found in our solar system, reinforcing the argument for a local origin. Scientists ascertain this because of the isotopic signature of magnesium, which originates from a specific star-forming area, rendering it distinctive to each star system. Magnesium is a prevalent element in the cosmos, generated in substantial quantities by larger, older stars that disperse it into space upon their demise in a supernova explosion. It is frequently recycled by nascent star systems, where it generates a distinctive isotopic signature contingent upon the prevailing conditions. The lead in the item corresponded with the isotopic fingerprints of terrestrial lead. These signals are so unique that they could not originate from any other source, including the Moon. In the absence of alien biosignatures in the sample, the Oak Ridge Laboratory scientists shifted their focus to technosignatures. Scanning transmission electron microscopy demonstrated that the crystalline structure of the magnesium resembled that of magnesium in terrestrial alloys. Having confirmed that, they sought to ascertain whether the sample may have constituted a component of a terahertz waveguide. Metal objects called waveguides are used to transmit electromagnetic waves. The magnetron in a microwave oven emits waves into the main chamber, where they heat leftovers. A terahertz waveguide enhances this technology by producing significantly more strong terahertz waves, potentially sufficient to levitate an item if constructed with appropriate techniques and materials. Harvard University theoretical physicist Avi Loeb, who did not participate in the study, states, "Human-developed technologies indicate that waveguides can solely transmit radiation for communication, data acquisition, or heating. However, the hypothesis regarding UAP suggests their application for levitation. That would signify a technology unfamiliar to humanity. Although the precise origin of the enigmatic sample remains uncertain, all evidence suggests that it is of terrestrial origin." Nevertheless, proponents assert that without comprehending the methodologies employed by advanced civilizations in their constructions, it would be challenging for us to initiate an understanding of their creations, incorporating a human perspective on a subject that we fundamentally do not comprehend. In recent years, numerous declassified government documents have fueled discussions and debates about the possibility of recovered unidentified flying objects and potential extraterrestrial encounters. These documents, released by agencies such as the CIA, FBI, and the US Department of Defense, contain intriguing references to unidentified aerial phenomena and suggest that officials may have, at various times, recovered material from unexplained crashes. While much of the content remains ambiguous, with heavily redacted sections and vague language, the information disclosed has intensified interest in whether the government has retrieved and examined crashed UFOs and possibly hidden this information from the public for decades. The release of these documents has led to speculation that the government has been engaged in a long-term effort to analyze, reverse engineer, or even weaponize technology recovered from these unexplained crashes. Some researchers suggest that modern projects are successors to earlier programs aimed at studying UFO materials, often believed to be hidden in highly secure locations. Various bases have become famous in UFO lore due to declassified CIA documents revealing that it served as a testing ground for experimental aircraft during the Cold War. While the documents confirm advanced aircraft testing, they remain silent on whether the site has ever housed extraterrestrial materials, leaving this question open to speculation. Another intriguing document, the so-called Wilson Memo, allegedly details a 2002 conversation between Admiral Thomas R. Wilson, then director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, and astrophysicist Dr. Eric Davis. In this memo, which remains unverified but has circulated widely in UFO communities, Wilson reportedly claims that he discovered the existence of a classified program working on recovered alien technology. The memo suggests that Wilson was denied access to the program, despite his high-level position, because it was controlled by private contractors and compartmentalized to a level of secrecy even beyond that of high-ranking defense officials. Although its authenticity has not been officially confirmed, the Wilson Memo has become one of the most debated documents among UFO researchers, as it suggests that knowledge of extraterrestrial technology might be deliberately concealed, even from senior officials. While many of these declassified documents remain inconclusive, their contents point to a sustained, serious interest in unidentified phenomena and possible material retrievals. The potential implications of recovering extraterrestrial materials are profound. If true, such discoveries could lead to breakthroughs in materials, science, propulsion, and energy, and might even alter our understanding of the universe. Some researchers speculate that certain advances in aerospace technology could be linked to these secret programs, though this remains unproven. Declassified documents alone cannot prove the existence of extraterrestrial life or alien technology. However, they provide glimpses into a history of government engagement with UFO phenomena that extends far beyond mere curiosity. The recent establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office to investigate these phenomena indicates that the government continues to take the subject seriously, and some officials have called for increased transparency. As public interest in UFOs and UAPs grows, there is mounting pressure on the government to disclose more information about potential retrievals and the technologies that may have been studied as a result. As of right now, declassified documents suggest that the US government has, at various points, been involved in retrieving and studying materials from crashed UFOs or UAPs. Although the exact nature of these materials remains shrouded in secrecy, statements from former officials, scientific consultants, and leaked documents all hint at the possibility of recovered technology beyond human capabilities. While conclusive proof of extraterrestrial origins is still lacking, these documents raise important questions about what might truly lie behind the curtain of government secrecy, and what discoveries may await humanity if these technologies are ever fully disclosed. In the vast, dense jungles of Para, a state in northern Brazil, where the Amazon River winds its way through some of the most remote and mysterious landscapes on Earth, an extraordinary event unfolded that would leave a group of local residents both terrified and bewildered. This event, which took place a few months ago, involved the sighting of a mysterious light being, a figure in the shape of a humanoid engulfed in flames, yet emitting no heat, smoke, or sound. The encounter, witnessed by several people, has since become a subject of intense speculation and debate, with many suggesting that it was not a natural phenomenon but something paranormal, something beyond the understanding of modern science. The incident occurred on a humid, starlit night deep within the Para jungle. A small group of villagers, accustomed to the natural sounds and sights of the Amazon, was making their way back from a trip. It started as a faint glow on the horizon, a light that seemed to flicker and pulse in the darkness. At first, they thought it was the glow of a fire. Perhaps someone from the village had started a bonfire, or there was a small brush fire nearby. But as they drew closer, the light took on a more defined shape, rising above the treetops. What they saw next left them in awe. Standing in a small clearing not far from the village was a figure unlike anything they had ever seen. The figure was humanoid in shape, with arms, legs, and a head, but it was entirely engulfed in flames. The flames were not the typical orange and red of a fire, but a brilliant white and blue, flickering with an intensity that should have scorched the earth around it. Yet there was no heat, no crackling sound of burning wood or leaves, and no smoke rising into the air. The figure stood motionless, seemingly aware of the group, but making no move toward them. The group watched in stunned silence, too shocked to move. The figure, which they later described as a flaming humanoid, radiated an otherworldly light that illuminated the surrounding area, casting eerie shadows on the trees. Despite the intensity of the light, it was strangely comforting rather than blinding, as if the figure itself was composed of pure energy. After what seemed like an eternity, the figure began to slowly fade, its light dimming until it vanished completely, leaving the jungle in darkness once more. The group, still reeling from what they had witnessed, hurried back and uploaded images and videos online, where they recounted their encounter to anyone who would listen. Their story spread quickly, and soon various online communities were abuzz with talk of the mysterious light being. The villagers were no strangers to the supernatural. The Amazon is a land steeped in myth and legend, where tales of spirits, strange creatures, and unexplained phenomena are woven into the fabric of everyday life. But the encounter with the flaming humanoid was unlike anything they had ever heard before. The absence of heat, smoke, or sound led many to believe that what they had witnessed was not a fire, but something far more mysterious, perhaps a being from another dimension, a spirit, or an alien entity. One of the prevailing theories among the villagers was that the figure was a spirit or guardian of the forest, a being sent to protect or warn them. The Amazon is considered sacred by many of the indigenous peoples of Brazil, and the idea that the jungle might be home to powerful unseen forces is deeply ingrained in their culture. The appearance of the flaming humanoid, with its otherworldly light and peaceful demeanor, was seen by some as a sign or message from these forces. Others speculated that the figure might be of extraterrestrial origin. The Amazon has long been a hotspot for UFO sightings and unexplained aerial phenomena, and the idea that the light being could be connected to alien visitors was not far-fetched for some. The figure's lack of heat and the ethereal quality of the light it emitted were seen as potential indicators of advanced technology or a life form beyond human comprehension. There were also those who believed that the encounter was a manifestation of a natural, though rare, phenomenon, perhaps an unusual form of ball lightning or a plasma entity, albeit one that took on an inexplicably humanoid shape. However, the lack of scientific evidence to support such a phenomenon in this specific context left this explanation unsatisfactory to many. The encounter with the flaming humanoid quickly gained attention beyond the village, drawing the interest of paranormal investigators and enthusiasts from across Brazil. For those inclined to believe in the supernatural, the event was seen as a rare and genuine instance of a paranormal phenomenon. The figure's peaceful presence, combined with its inexplicable properties, suggested a being that existed on a different plane of reality, one that occasionally intersected with our own. Some investigators speculated that the figure might have been a manifestation of energy from a higher dimension, a being that could control its physical properties in ways that defy our understanding of physics. The idea that such entities could exist and occasionally interact with humans has been a topic of interest in paranormal circles for years, and the para encounter added a new dimension to these discussions. Interestingly, the phenomenon of mysterious lights in the skies above Brazil is not a recent occurrence. Reports date back decades, with some of the most notable sightings occurring in the 20th century. One of the earliest and most famous cases is the 1977 Operation Plate in the Amazon region, where the Brazilian Air Force conducted an extensive investigation into reports of strange lights in the sky. Residents of the town of Colares reported seeing bright, often multicolored lights that hovered over the area, sometimes descending close to the ground. These lights were reportedly linked to cases of burns and other injuries among the population, leading to widespread fear and concern. This event remains one of the most well-documented cases of UFO sightings in Brazil, with official reports, photographs, and testimonies from both military personnel and civilians. Despite the extensive investigation, the Brazilian Air Force was unable to provide a definitive explanation for the lights, leaving the phenomenon shrouded in mystery. The case was eventually closed, but the sightings did not cease, and reports of similar phenomena continued to surface in the following decades. In more recent years, sightings of mysterious lights have been reported across various regions of Brazil, from the dense Amazon rainforest to the open plains of the interior. Witnesses describe these lights as being unusually bright, often moving erratically or at incredible speeds, and sometimes disappearing and reappearing in different parts of the sky. These characteristics have led many to speculate that the lights are not of this world, fueling theories of extraterrestrial visitation. Amateur researchers who have spent countless hours looking into these mysterious cases have said that these unexplainable lights that have been observed over a number of years are of extraterrestrial origin. Proponents of this theory argue that the lights' behavior, such as their ability to hover silently, move at incredible speeds, and make sharp turns, defies the capabilities of known human-made aircraft. The belief that these lights are alien spacecraft has been fueled by the frequency and consistency of sightings, as well as by the cultural fascination with the possibility of life beyond Earth. In Brazil, as in many other parts of the world, the idea that we are not alone in the universe resonates deeply, and sightings of mysterious lights are often interpreted as evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. Another plausible explanation is that the lights are advanced military or experimental aircraft.